Let me ask you this. Have you somewhere in your second or third week started experiencing a kind of depressed state? It's like your drive is gone and nothing really seems to motivate you any longer. During this phase, it is like you have this void inside you that wants to be filled, and sometimes you just choose to relapse even though you have no urges. Well, in case you didn't know it, you do that in order to try to fill that void. Now, of course, that does not work, but we still try it, right? Well, my friends, this is the dreaded flat line. Now, the flat line can have many symptoms, and in addition to those I already mentioned, it is very common with a complete drop in drive, and even your wiener can feel lifeless, cold and small. Well, today we are going to take a look at a few unusual tips to help you survive the horrible flat line. I'll start with a couple of easy practical tips, and then in the later part we will focus more on mindset, which is even more important when it comes to the flat line. So make sure to stay with me to the end here. Tip number 1. Take long walks. Now, you heard this before, but there's a reason for this. It's a simple tool, but simple is good when you are feeling down. You see, oftentimes when in a flat line we feel so down that we have a hard time finding motivation for anything. Then a walk is the perfect tool, because even though they are considered physical exercise, they really can be very pleasant as well. Certainly not unpleasant like cold showers, and they are not strenuous like jogging, but they still elevate your mood, and that is a big thing here, because low mood is often the time that kills your NoFap streak during the flat line. Well, guys, do daily walks when you're down. In fact, I used to sometimes take 2 to 3 of them every day because they really help. So, take them. Tip number 2. Eat more salt. What? Yeah, I know this sounds strange, but hear me out here. When you are deficient in salt, guess what mechanism your brain uses to try to get you to eat more of it? Well, it hyperactivates your reward system. Yes, isn't that interesting? If you are eating very little salt, things like eating sugar, fapping to adult sites, taking drugs, or any dopamine-driven activity can much more easily hijack your reward system. When I learned this a few years ago, it blew my mind, and of course I started eating more salt right away. Now, don't get fooled by the old myth that says salt is bad for you. It is much worse to be low on salt, and you can easily eat 8 to 10 grams of salt per day. However, do not use the normal table salt, because that gets bleached and processed. And don't use sea salt either, because that does not contain iodine. Himalayan salt is pretty good, but it is also lower in iodine than other salts. So the next time you're out shopping, try to get your hands on Redmond Real Sea Salt, because Redmond contains the absolute perfect mineral balance. If you can't find it, I'll put a link under this video to easily get it. Tip number 3. Trust the process. I'm not gonna lie, the flatline can be very tough. I could share so many more tools to help, and I will in future videos, but the fact still remains, the flatline will still suck. So what you have to do is to adapt a warrior mindset, and instead of several times a day keep asking yourself, how long will this last? Shift your focus to what it actually means. You see, the flatline means that your reboot is working. It means that your brain is healing right now and that the process is working. Look at it like this. The arousal center in your brain is resting and has taken a much needed vacation. This is why you feel so empty and everything is gray. But it needs that vacation, and when it comes back, you will have a new, well-functioning brain. So instead of freaking out, trust the process. Tip number 4. Find glory in the suffering. Since the flatline is hard, you need to adapt the attitude of a warrior and stop having that victim mindset. You know, the one that tells you that it is unfair that you have to go through this and that things are so horrible. It's harsh, but getting through the flatline is at the end of the day mostly about just bloody endurance and the ability to keep pushing. Yes, it is unfair and it is horrible, but feeling sorry for yourself won't make it better. In fact, that might even slow down your recovery, because when you feel sorry for yourself, you often resort to comforting behaviors like eating junk food, drinking alcohol, and so on. It is like with the victim mindset, you are just scrolling around in defense mode. However, with a warrior's mindset, you rise up and start fighting. You become proactive and start looking into showers, meditation, exercise, and all kinds of helpful things, because you really want to beat this and slay the dragon once and for all. Yes, it is hard, but that can be a good thing. You see, warriors create themselves through pain and suffering and through trial and error. When things are tough, anyone can wimp out and feel sorry for himself. That doesn't take any strength, but it takes a real warrior to keep going in the face of that pain. And it is in his darkest moments that the warrior gets to show what he's made of. So guys, with this mindset, you will start to realize that yes, things are hard, but I'm going to raise my sword and beat the living crap out of any obstacle that comes my way. There's going to be many hard battles, but even if the blood is running down my face from all the blows fate throws at me, I will keep holding it high and I will keep moving forward. Even though the urges whip my tired body, I haven't cried aloud. Yes, even though the blows are hard, my head is bloody, but I'm bowed. Alright, I hope you found this video helpful, and as always, if you would like to support me in making these videos, you can always buy me a cup of coffee. It's a secure donation system and you can find a link to it under this video. And if you choose to buy me a cup of coffee, thank you so much. Every single cup of coffee really helps me grow this channel. This is Scandinavian Bob signing out for today. Consider subscribing for more helpful videos, and as always, I wish you all the best in your journey to become the strongest version of yourself. And remember, as Winston Churchill used to say, if you're going through hell, keep going.